Hello everybody and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. In today's video, I wanted to redo my tier list because I made that tier list at like some time where I was just like, well, yeah, you know, Tartaglia, his cooldown mechanic sucks, he's in C. And I just didn't think anything of it. And I did that for a lot of characters that maybe they would be switched around. They definitely wouldn't. It wouldn't be like Tartaglia. Oh, I made a mistake. He's definitely an S tier. He's definitely, I would say, like a B character. Like B, I would say is good, but not exceptional. This A is very good. S is pretty good, and C is okay. You're not that good, and then D is you're bad. Yeah, we don't need to. So basically, I just wanted to redo my tier list here. You know, subscribe. Currently, we're at 197 subs, so 3 more and we're at 200. So you want to do that? You can do that. Albedo with his new sword, he's actually pretty decent. He hits pretty good off-field damage. I just particles. I just don't like. He's good. Also, to preface this, I don't just take into, oh, Tartaglia does damage, he's like S tier. No, there's mechanics that I actually take into account. So Aloy, she's not really that impressive. From what I've seen for Aloy, she wasn't able to actually put herself to auto attack with cryo a whole bunch, whereas you would want her to be able to do that like consistently, like a character like Yoimiya can. So yes. Itto, yeah, he's definitely an A tier. A tier, one of the strongest DPSs, if not the strongest DPS in the game. Pretty good. Ayaka, okay, here's where I need to add another tier. Like, okay, so here is the tier list. Okay, modified version of the tier list. Ayaka, she's going in A just because, yeah, she's really good at support. She's decent as main DPS. I just don't like how you have to sprint with her every 5 seconds. Otherwise, you can't deal cryo damage with your normal attacks, and her normal attacks don't do that much damage. It's really her Q burst, which is why I think she's a great support, but it is only 5 seconds. She just has a lot of things where it's like, if this was changed, she might just be double S. Like, she has a lot of things like that. So, yeah. Barbara, C. Not really that good of healer. Yes, healer's got main DPS capabilities now with the new set, but just, I imagine she's not that good, and I don't. Hydro, not that good of a element. Beidou, here's the thing, like, this, she's very good. So Beidou, I'm gonna leave her an A, but she could easily go down to B tier. Just because I don't know. She seems really strong, but then other times she doesn't seem as strong, and you have to find the right characters to work with her. So she's not exactly reliable, but she can be very good if you're looking at her. But she can be very, very good. Bennett, yeah, you pretty obvious. His second best character in the game. Chongyun, yeah. With Shinha being out, he actually got buffed. If you're using a main DPS Shinha, he buffs her to make her dual cryo damage, so she's pretty good. Diluc, we're gonna put up in there. Then Diluc could also be dropped down because he's pretty good. Like, he's really good. But is he Itto level? No, not even close. Yeah, I'm gonna put Diluc down. Like, he has lost some of his capabilities as like the end all be all. This is the best DPS in the game. Honestly, Diona is insane. She just, looking at Diona, she heals you and she provides a shield. So if you do take damage with her shield, you get healed back up. And she's cryo, so for cryo resonance, you're going to get the extra 15% crit rate for just having her on the team. And she's also a support character rather than like Eula, who's a main DPS. You're not just going to add her for the extra 15% crit rate. Cryo Resistance, that's pretty strong. Eula, yeah, just her burst damage is so strong. That's about all I have to say with her. She is just an insanely strong burst damage. Fischl, I'm going to leave her there. C6 with Yoimiya there. She's going to stay there, though. Ganyu, I don't even think she needs any explanation. One thing I would like to say about Ganyu, she can't be nerfed. You're never going to get someone to nerf Ganyu. Her charge attack is the thing that does damage. Not her Q like Ito, not her E skill like Yoimiya or Hu Tao. Goro, like, I'm going to put Goro in B, specifically because he only buffs Ito. But if we're looking at him and we're just like, oh, he buffs Ito? Yeah. Like, I'm not joking. That's how strong Goro is when he's buffing Ito. He's pretty insane. But I'm gonna put him in B just because out of all these characters, well, he also buffs Albedo, but not by much. Out of all these characters, he buffs 2. Seriously. And Noelle, but he's a Geo support. He buffs 2 characters, really. Doesn't really do much. Hu Tao, yeah, sure. I'm also not basing this tier list at all on Spiral Abyss. If I was basing this on Spiral Abyss, Hu Tao would be in, like, B, because floor 12 she could not even do, it feels like. Hu Tao kills herself, and those wolves just kill her. There's no way around it. Hu Tao just is B if you are counting her against floor 12. Since I don't like to base my opinion off of something that's always changing and never really has a concrete, like, state that it's in, yeah, I'm gonna leave her in B or S. Jean, I'm gonna leave her in B also. Like, these are good characters. Jean, yeah, like I said, Spiral Abyss, I'm not gonna count that. I don't count Spiral Abyss. Jean would be probably A. Also, Barbara would be A if we were counting Spiral Abyss, just because their burst will heal your entire team immediately. Like, the amount of that they heal is so huge, which is another reason why I'm not even gonna say it. But Kazuha, he's double S just easily. Like, he buffs every single character in the game no matter what. I mean, unless you're physical. But most likely he buffs every single character in the game. Kaya, we're gonna go with C. Like, he's not really, like, he's okay. He's not really insane. He's alright. You can do good damage with him, but you can do good damage with everybody. He's gonna go in C. I just don't really see him as that good. Keqing, she's B. She's pretty good, just not anything super extraordinary. That's about it. Klee, clunky. That's about all I have to say. She just, if she just had something to move like normal characters and wasn't so slow. Like, if Diona had to stay on field for like a certain amount of time with her shield, then she would be like bad. Because they move so slow, they can't really dodge anything. And Klee, with her clunky, like, auto attacks, she just really... Kujosara, we're gonna give A. Very good. Just only electro characters. And also, her buff is only 6 seconds. Bennett's is 12. And it's higher. Like, I don't know what they were thinking when they gave Kujosara a 6-second buff that's lower. Like, that doesn't even line up with Ryden's. Like, Ryden gets buffed by Kujosara for 6 seconds, and her Q is like 7 seconds, I think. I don't understand. Lisa, C. As you can see, most of the free-to-play characters that they give you, they don't really put any effort into. Like, I mean, Kaya could be B. Like, you could move Kaya up to B. I wouldn't, like, that's not the end of the world. But Lisa, she suffers the same as Klee, but she's Electro and not Pyro. So just automatic. Yeah, not that good. Mona's really good. Yeah, I was looking at Mona because I really hadn't seen any gameplay of Mona. Like, I've seen a little bit, and I know that she's used in a lot of one-shot comps where you just do a whole bunch of damage. But Mona's pretty good. Just support, like, she's amazing. Ningguang, I'm gonna put in B. Like, she's very good. She could be very good. Just nothing really. Like, the Geo buffer, like, if she had a Kujosara for, like, Geo, that would be pretty good. But we got Goro, which only gives 15% Geo damage bonus to her. And also 40% crit rate. Noelle, I'm gonna go B again, just because nothing really too extraordinary about her to put her in S. Like, she doesn't, or put her in A. She doesn't deal super amounts of damage like these two characters. She's not a great, like, off-field DPS. Chi-Chi, we're gonna put her in C. The cooldown is way too long on that E skill, and I don't remember the Q might be long, but the Q is very useful because it is a burst heal. Ryden, going to put her in A. Say as much as you want, but Ryden, underwhelming damage. You want to be on field with her to get energy for your characters. It's really annoying to use her. So for a sub DPS like Ryden, you're going to make a character specifically for her and bring her on the team. No. Instead of bringing Kujosara, you're gonna bring Bennett to buff your actual main DPS like Hu Tao and Ganyu. And most characters, they don't need energy recharge. This is all to say, Ryden's not bad. I mean, look who she's with. Like, all these characters are pretty good. She's just not as good as these characters and these characters. Razor, honestly, yeah. It's just, Razor's great. Like, the physical DPS. Razor's damage is on par with Diluc, on par with, like, Klee and all this. Not as insane as these guys' damage. It can be, like, I mean, if you're really, like, just buffing him up. But obviously, Razor, he's pretty good. Don't try and argue. Like, he was the main character that you wanted if you weren't gonna pull Diluc or someone like that at the beginning of the game. Nothing has really changed about his playstyle. He's gotten new artifacts with the Pale Flame to give him more physical damage bonus. You could run 2-piece Bloodstain, 2-piece Pale Flame. I don't think his cooldown on his E is that short to allow you to be able to proc the Pale Flame second part, so I don't really know. But I think 2-piece Bloodstain, 2-piece Pale Flame is actually the best set for him, which just buffs him. Rosaria, I don't have much experience with, but I do love her crit rate ability to give more crit rate to your allies. And also, she's a cryo character, so if you're using her with another cryo character, she's also going to get even bigger buffs. She is the physical support, but, like, she gives also crit rate, and she can do superconduct. That's basically where this ends, because the person that you want to use her with is Eula. You want to use Eula, Rosaria, Ryden, and I guess Kujosara, but I would use Bennett just because you could buff Eula then. Using Cryo Resonance with Rosaria increases your crit rate by 30% at maximum. That's pretty insane. I mean, 30% crit rate. I mean, if I added that to my Ito, that's 100% crit rates. Now, obviously, this wouldn't be added to Ito, but any cryo character that comes out is going to get massively buffed by Rosaria because she can buff that much crit rate. You can just go full crit damage, which, I mean, you also have the artifact set for it, which is whatever. Kokomi is going to stay down there. I have grown to absolutely despise Kokomi. Every other healer in the game does not have to be on field to heal. But when you use Kokomi's burst, you have to be on field to heal. And she doesn't do that much damage. Kokomi design is awful. I don't know why they want you to be on field to heal. Because Barbara, you can just press your Q. Chi-Chi, you can press your Q. Jean, you can press your Q. And your entire team's fully healed. Kokomi, you press your Q, and you stay on field for a whole bunch. Her design has to be the worst I think I have ever seen. I don't know. Sayu is a weird character to understand. She scales off of too many things. She's not that good. I don't see her do much damage. She's Animo, so she can't, like, proc any reactions, really, other than Swirl, and the only time she can really take advantage of her Swirl is when you're running around as a little ball, building up damage for your E. I just don't know. She's not that good. You want to build her with Elemental Mastery, then you have to be on field to trigger the swirls. She's like C to B. Like, it's one of these. Like C or B. I'm more tempted to go with B just because, while yeah, she's not that good design-wise, she's not awful. She's not completely awful, and these characters are more underwhelming than her. So I'm gonna leave her there. Why? She's good. Like, she's good. But why does she only proc for 7 hits? You want to know who's good with 7 hits? Yeah, it's Ganyu. You want to know who isn't good with 7 hits? Literally, well, I guess not you, but every single other character, cryo DPS, like 7 hit. Well, I guess Chongyun would be better with 7 hits. But like every single other cryo character cannot take advantage of that. Her Q skill, Ganyu can't really take advantage of that. Ayaka can't take advantage of that. Chongyun can, and Rosaria can. And if you're like defending her 7 hits and 5 hits, that's fine. Then why did they give Yunjin 30 for normal attacks? Shinha gets normal and charge attacks, or where did she only need to have 7 when Yunjin gets 30? I'm just gonna put this Yunjin there. Then again, I want to put Yunjin there, right? But I mean, Yola would be good, but not really. That's another thing. Like, Yola, yeah, I don't know. I want to put Yunjin here just because of the potential that she can have. So Yunjin seems to be the easiest character to build in the game, almost. I also do take that into account. Like, Beidou, she used to not be easy to build. I used to put her in, like, B tier. But now they have the whole artifact set based around energy recharge. So it's not that bad. I'm going to leave these two together, actually. Both in A. Because, yeah, Shinha, she's not that good, except for Ganyu. But, like, she buffs Ganyu's damage by a lot. Basically, she buffs it by what Bennett buffs. And if you don't know how it's calculated, like, it's calculated before the crit damage, so it does a higher number than it actually says. So, yeah, it says I'm only going to add 3,000, but it adds it, like, 3,000 at, like, a different time. So, it's weird to say. This is before all the crit damage and cryo damage bonus gets added. So yeah, basically that's why Shinha makes Ganyu hit so hard. So yeah, I put Shinha in A. Yunjin can be an A also, just because how much she buffs the normal attack damage. She's Yoimiya's like best friend almost. Also, any other normal attacking character, like, I mean, you could use her with Yola. Also, main DPS Zhongli. Sucrose, I'm gonna actually put in A. Because Sucrose is any Pyro character, and I guess sort of Cryo character if you want to use Melt Ganyu, which is pretty strong. Yeah, the Cryo characters, like any character doing reactions, basically Sucrose is one of their best friends. Toma, he's good. It is not that good though. Like Toma, yeah, his shields. I love shield users. But for some reason, his shields, it's like, you want to stack your shields, but you can't really stack your shields. But then, like, the HP amounts are kind of low. Like, at maximum, yeah, Toma would look amazing. for all 3 seconds that you have as maximum, and then you're not going to have as maximum anymore. That's about where I go with it. Traveler, they're not really that good. They're physical DPSs, but Geo, like if you're pairing up with Zhongli, they can do pretty good damage with just their Geo constructs. Venti, I'm gonna put an S, just because if they're small enemies, he dominates. Like, just presses Q and then any character that can hit within his field dominates. Xiangling, yeah, I would put her in there. Xiangling's amazing. She is pretty insane. Zhao, pretty good. Not insane. Actually, I'm going to put him in A. He's not as bad as Tartaglia, where you just can't do his damage. Zhao is a pretty good damage dealer. He just has his problems of low HP. His shield breaks because you can't dodge. Or my Zhongli shield breaks because you can't dodge. Whereas with Hu Tao, you barely get hit, and by the time your cooldown's over, you can just reapply Zhongli's shield. Xingqiu, I'm just gonna put it over here because he's the best like support for pyro characters. There's probably never gonna be another person like Xingqiu for pyro characters. I don't know what they were thinking when they made Xingqiu. Because if you look, we got Hu Tao, Klee, Diluc. Those are the 3 like top tier pyro characters. Or I mean, there is another pyro character, but we'll get into her. And their best partner is Xingqiu. You could also do a freeze comp with Ganyu and Ayaka with Xingqiu. Yeah, Ayaka and Xingqiu with for Blizzard Strider is actually a pretty good combo. Xinyan, she's not that good. Her shields don't work right, so she's just gonna sit there and be. And we're gonna go with the hope of double S for Miko. We're looking at another pyro character, and we have Yanfei, or Yanfei. She's very, very, very good. She does a lot of damage. Just charge attack a couple times. She does pretty good damage. Now Yoimiya and Zhongli. No, Yoimiya's not up here. She's right there. Zhongli, he's the best character in the game. His shield is unbreakable, except when you're using Zhao. Yoimiya, she's up here with the top tier DPSs. You use Yoimiya with C6 Fischl, and then you cannot argue that Yoimiya is not an S character. If you're using Yoimiya without a C6 Fischl, then you could argue her down to A. But I'm just gonna say, it's been over a year of me playing Genshin Impact. I don't have C6 Fischl, but that doesn't mean someone else might not. It's like saying, oh, well, I have C1 Bennett. I didn't have Bennett for over, like, 14 months. I can't really just say, oh, yeah, well, I don't have Bennett, so, you know, he's D tier. No. I don't have C6 Fischl, so, you know, Yoimiya is A tier. So, I'm just gonna say S. Now, if we were looking at Yoimiya and Ayaka combo, that is another thing where it's like, well, that's 2 5 stars. You can't expect people to have that. But Fischl's been on every single banner. She's been featured on a couple banners. I have multiple C6 4 stars, so it's not uncommon for someone to have a C6 Fischl. This is the tier list. I guess the only thing that people might get angry about is the thing that people always are going to get angry about is that Kokomi is in D tier. No, Kokomi's design has to be the absolute worst. This list was not made based on just outright damage, outright healing. It wasn't made like that. It was made out of actual gameplay, which is why Tartaglia is in B. He's not, like, you take away his cooldown mechanic, he might be S. I know. Like, but he's B. He is B. And he will be B forever. It's the same with Kokomi. Unless they decide one day, hey, let's give Kokomi a buff and have her heal a whole bunch of HP when she pops her Q, I'm not gonna like it. Which is the reason why these healers are above Kokomi, because they heal immediately when they pop their Q. Jean is just better than most of these two healers. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure to subscribe, because you know we're at 197 subs, 3 more and we're at 200, so you just do it. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.